VCISO Securitybite 17th April 2025 by Anil Yelamati, Founder and Principal Advisor, VCISO.au. Welcome to your daily Cyber Watch, curated specifically for Australia's CISOs, cyber risk managers, IT security leaders, and digital transformation executives. At VCISO.au, our mission is to not only keep you informed, but to make that intelligence actionable. This edition includes major global and regional cyber developments, emerging threats, exploit disclosures, and practical recommendations from the lens of a virtual CISO. Let's dive in. Ransomware radar, a quiet day in Australia, but complacency is the real threat. Despite the absence of reported ransomware attacks across Australian organizations in the past 24 hours, now is not the time to exhale. Threat actors often use quiet windows to observe, prepare, and pivot. VCISO Insight: periods of silence are deceptive. Quiet does not equal safe. These moments are often used by attackers to test defenses, perform reconnaissance, or quietly develop footholds in networks. Security tip: conduct a quiet day audit. Use these lulls to simulate ransomware drills, test backup restoration speeds, and validate EDR effectiveness. VCISO recommendation: schedule monthly purple team simulations, coordinated exercises between your red, offense, and blue defense teams. This approach ensures your team remains sharp, even when external threats seem dormant. Massive compromise of Fortinet devices via Symlink backdoor. Over 16,000 Fortinet firewalls compromised, including 160 in Australia and 116 in New Zealand. A major breach affecting 16,720 Fortinet FortiGate firewalls has been confirmed by the Shadow Server Foundation. Attackers have installed a Symlink-based persistence backdoor that allows continued read-only access to sensitive files, even on devices that have been patched. This backdoor leverages symbolic links within the language file directory used by SSL VPN, granting attackers stealthy access to core file systems. Notably, this access persists even after firmware updates, as the symlinks are not automatically removed. VCISO Insight: this attack is not due to a new vulnerability, but rather residue left behind from previously exploited 0 days in FortiOS, targeted in 2023-2024. The attacker's ability to retain access despite patching highlights the importance of forensic hygiene and post-breach cleanup. Security tip: manually inspect FortiGate language directories for unexpected symlinks. Employ forensic tools that detect symbolic links pointing outside expected directories. VCISO recommendation: immediately audit all FortiGate devices for signs of symbolic link abuse. Establish a Fortinet-specific threat hunting task force internally or through a partner MSSP. Ensure SSL VPN exposure is minimized unless essential, and track all legacy device configurations. CISA extends MITRE CVE program funding, a global relief for vulnerability intelligence. A near crisis was averted this week as CISA extended funding to MITRE, ensuring no disruption in the Common Vulnerabilities and Exposures CVE program. CVEs serve as a foundational backbone for security advisories, automated vulnerability scanners, and incident response playbooks. Without sustained funding, vulnerability tracking tools across the industry would suffer, from enterprise-grade platforms to small business patching systems. VCISO Insight: this situation exposes a larger dependency on public-private partnerships. When CVE data becomes fragile, the entire ecosystem, SIEMs, scanners, SOCs, are vulnerable to blind spots. Security tip: don't just rely on CVE feeds. Cross-check with threat intelligence providers, vendor advisories, and open-source feeds, like VulnDB or NVD. VCISO recommendation: For critical environments, develop a vulnerability management strategy that blends multiple sources, ensuring redundancy and continuity. Build internal metadata, tagging for CVEs that link to asset inventory, business criticality, and patch urgency. Apple 0 days exploited in targeted attacks on iPhones. Apple has released emergency security updates to patch 2 0-day vulnerabilities. CV 2025-390 Core Audio. CVE 2025-31201 RPAC subsystem. These vulnerabilities were used in targeted, highly sophisticated attacks, primarily against specific individuals. Impacted platforms include nearly all modern Apple devices, iPhones, iPads, Macs, Apple TVs, and even the Vision Pro headset. VCISO insight: even if this seems limited to high-profile targets, your executive team, legal counsel, or M&A advisors may fall into attacker crosshairs. Security tip: enforce mandatory iOS, macOS updates for all executives and staff using BYOD. Turn off iMessage and FaceTime if not required. Both have been recent attack vectors. VCISO recommendation: deploy Mobile Threat Defense (MTD) solutions across all endpoints that handle business communication. Make mobile OS patch compliance part of your quarterly cybersecurity KPI reporting. NTLM vulnerability, CVE 2025-24054, exploited in global campaigns. A critical vulnerability in Microsoft Windows NTLM has been actively exploited since March 19, 2025. Tracked as CVE 2025-24054, the flaw enables NTLM hash harvesting through spoofed servers, allowing attackers to escalate privileges and gain full network access. The vulnerability was patched on March 11th, but exploitation campaigns surged shortly after, with notable incidents in Poland, Romania, Australia, and Turkey. VCISO insight: NTLM is a legacy protocol that should have been phased out years ago. Yet, many Australian businesses, especially in health, construction, and education, still rely on outdated domain configurations. Security tip: disable NTLM wherever possible. Where NTLM is still required, enforce SMB signing and monitor outbound SMB traffic for anomalies. VCISO recommendation: conduct an NTLM audit immediately. Replace it with Kerberos or certificate-based auth wherever feasible. Log an alert on all NTLM v1 usage. It's a red flag. Server-side phishing: a new tactic hiding in plain sight. Phishing attacks are evolving fast. Instead of relying on suspicious URLs or redirects, attackers are now deploying server-side phishing portals that mimic enterprise login pages. These mimic legitimate login portals and validate credentials on the back end, making them extremely difficult to detect via traditional means. One example includes a fake portal resembling Aramark's employee login system, detected via crawler analysis by Hunt.io. VCISO insight: these attacks are indistinguishable to the human eye. If your anti-phishing defense relies solely on URL filtering or awareness training, you're already behind. Security tip: deploy behavioral analysis tools on authentication endpoints. Monitor for signs of impossible logins, abnormal access patterns, and credential reuse. VCISO recommendation: implement FIDO2 WebAuthn-based MFA wherever possible. Passwords alone are no longer a viable defense, especially against server-side phishing. New vulnerabilities in Windows. Task Scheduler, Tasks.exe. Security researchers have disclosed new vulnerabilities in the Tasks.exe binary, a native Windows utility used to automate tasks. Attackers can exploit these flaws for UAC bypass, metadata poisoning, event log overflow, and even privilege escalation. This technique spans several MITRE ATT&CK categories, including defense evasion and persistence. VCISO insight: Tasks.exe is often overlooked in endpoint protection policies. but attackers love it due to its native, trusted status in Windows environments. Security tip: enable command line logging for all scheduled task operations via Sysmin. Monitor for non-standard flags or tasks created by non-admin users. VCISO recommendation: establish baseline rules for tasks.exe behavior across user profiles. Flag and quarantine tasks that attempt elevation or contain obfuscated paths. Ransomware Tracker Global Victims, April 15, 2025. Country-wise breakdown of known victims. AAM Ogbir Lockbit, D. Grenell Akira, Bolivia Plurinational State of Ndibo Lockbit 3. Canada, Alpha Systems Ltd. Underground, Semexcom Underground, Pratt Holmes Dragon Force, China, Yikwach Comcien Lockbit 3. Denmark, dlinet.com Kairos. Germany, Niemand Buti SafePay, Eblimfode Ingransum. Greece, Anfarm Hellas Akira. Italy, Bioclima Service Raylord. Lamberti Group Akira. Govoni Sabjatrici Kilin. Netherlands, Koninklijke Ahold Delhaize NV Ingransum, Taiwan Province of China. ShengYuSteel.com Underground. United States, Red Chamber Play. JackpotJunction.com Lockbit 3. Hyalogic Links. Dale Partners Architects Akira. Prior Morrow Dragon Force. Setpoint Systems Dragon Force. Pawnee Heights Unified School District Medusa. Unspecified country. W. Nelson Edu Killen. Feldman and Lopez Links. McElwee Firm Links. Kraft Kisarna Dragon Force. Final thought from your virtual CISO. Cyber defense is no longer about reacting. It's about preparing before the noise starts. Take today's quietness as your opportunity to double-check defenses, close gaps, and boost visibility. Silence from attackers doesn't mean safety. It often means they're working harder to stay hidden. If you're looking to elevate your cyber program or want tailored executive briefings, reach out at VCISO.au, your strategic security partner. Stay secure with VCISO.au. We bring you human-first, expert-led cybersecurity briefings daily, designed to empower leaders to navigate threats confidently. Anil Yalamati, VCISO.au.